What's up, Yoon-Fam? It is I,
Mark Yoon.
Just like we postulated back before, I think it was a week ago, when we were talking about Aeon's return in Season 3, we were talking about what kind of style he would return with. And I was asked to do the same thing for Rock, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, this is a little bit less straightforward than it would be for Aeon, since, like, Aeon's kind of bounced all over the place, so it'd be really easy for him to kind of take up anything, or just go back to the Sword and Shield like he did in Soul Calibur. But I think that, like, for Rock, it's a little bit more open-ended than that. I think Rock would be a good opportunity to actually introduce a new weapon style into the game. Not so much streamlined as, like, Hwang Sung-young when he was given the talisman abilities, because he still has his Dao. I think it would be even better for Rock because he has a plethora of weaponry that he can actually choose from. Now, as a Englishman who is in the native lands before it became America, Rock was pretty unique in the fact that he tried to join all the tribes, but they were afraid of him by his size and things of that nature, as we talked about in his lore video. But I think we could definitely get, like, a more of, I want to say, a varied weapon style with Rock. Maybe a secondary weapon that he utilizes in certain attacks, or maybe just a new weapon altogether. I know in the past he's wanted to be differentiated from Astaroth by utilizing a shorthand mace, or sometimes even something akin to an axe. I think we can get a little bit more creative with this. I think a mace attached to a ball and chain would be a unique idea. Something like a medieval mace that's usually with a flail, if you know what that is. And then there's also the possibility of him with secondary weapons. Like, I think it would be cool if he had a bow and arrow. We don't have any bow and arrow characters in the game, so it would be definitely unique for some of his moves to utilize that bow and arrow. He can do similarly to how Kung Jin did in Mortal Kombat 10, where he actually used it as a weapon itself and then drew the arrow occasionally, or for specials and things of that nature. I'm not saying that we should just completely get rid of the mace altogether. I think that they can be used in conjunction with another weapon or another style. Obviously, there's going to be different variations that we can combine with these. He could have his mace, or he could be a flail, or he can have his mace with the bow and arrow. Or even a dual wield, like maybe he dual wields mace. That would be definitely unique and a first time for this franchise. Not for dual wielding in general, because we have characters like Cervantes, Taki, a plethora of the characters actually dual wield their weapons. But I think for Rock himself, it would just add some variation to his character to have him dual wield the two maces. So I don't know too much about, like, how I would want his moveset to be. I definitely want him to stick similarly to the grappling aspect that he's been known for. Now, obviously, some of his moves have carried over to Astaroth, so this would be a prime opportunity to reinvent him, just like we did see with Hwang Sung-young to the larger extent. I know a lot of the returning characters have been modified, but none to the extent that Hwang has. So I think with him coming back in Season 3, it would definitely be an opportunity for them to test their chops and test their mettle, to give us a new weapon style and give us something to look forward to for Soul Calibur 7. Because right now it's pretty much been like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving the way Soul Calibur 6 is turning out. And it's definitely leading up to 7 and causing a lot of ability for people to be hype for the next game. But I think they need to test their mettle by showing us a different variation of what they have in mind for the next game. Because we do have the swords coming in the next iteration of the series, and I would like to see them kind of playing around with the idea of using different weaponry. Now, Rock could actually use a bunch of different weapons the way that he's done with this. I just would like to see him adapted and modernized into the current game, so that, like, the meta can be changed possibly a little bit, just like we saw with Hwang. There's not too many things out there, honestly, that, like, I would want to see him with. Maybe dual tomahawks would be kind of cool, not to be confused with, like, axes that Aeon uses, because tomahawks are for throwing. So he could have a bow and arrow combination with a tomahawk, since he's trying to emulate the native people. He could even utilize a bunch of different throwing knives or daggers, something akin to that. There's a large variety of things that he can choose from, and I think he could even combo them with like his mace, or even outright replace them. Now, I don't really want to see him totally replace the mace because it is part of his character. I would like to see them add something to it, similar to how they did with Wong, and keeping in the same spirit as his grappling style has been in the past, making him not so much of a rushdown character, but give him some kind of range capabilities, which is why I said the bow and arrow or the throwing tomahawk things. I think it would just be interesting to have those as part of his character and give more significance to him. I know that like he's not super important to the lore. He's just like a character that has like the side story that goes alongside the rest of the characters. And I know a lot of people actually really like Rock and they want to see that change. There's some people out there who don't like Rock, but he is a legacy character from the very first installment of the series from Soul Blade and Soul Edge, so he definitely deserves some treatment if he returns. I think that if he does get a treatment similar to how Huang is, I don't think we're going to be disappointed at all, because they've shown that they are very capable of doing this. But I also would really like them to, you know, switch it up a little bit and just give us something new and refreshing so that we can go into the next generation of the series with our eyes wide, looking forward to the next goal. With that being said, guys, I want to hear in the comment section down below what you think and what kind of weapon do you think Rock should come back with, or style, or how he should be changed up, or how the meta should react to his inclusion. And thank you for watching the video, and as always, I like it. Thank you.
And thank you.